I am Dr. Surekha Tiwari. I'm a practicing homeopath and a psychological counselor, and I have 2 clinics in Bangalore, one in HSR, one in AECS layout. Anger in children. Before I get on to any of these things, have you ever talked about anger in a toddler? A 6 months old, 7 months old, 1-year-old toddler. They all look very cute, very angelic. We like to play with them. They smile back at us when we do something, and it gives us such a nice sense, right? So what exactly changes? What has changed that we call terrible 3, terrible 2? We say, oh God, this is an absolutely scary 5. I've heard these terms so much. I want people who have asked this question to ask themselves, where did the child take the turn? And why did the child take the turn? In counseling practices, and especially in pediatric counseling, we often say that angry parents bring up angry children. Irritated parents make irritated children. For the small child who's growing up, the window to the world is the parent. Your child is just a reflection of you. The day you start thinking that my child is very irritable, my child is very, very angry, please stop for a minute. I know half of you would not be agreeing with me right now, but at the cost of sounding very strict, I would first say that just sit down with yourself one day and think, are you a parent who corrects the child at every point? Sit like this, don't eat like this, don't make friends cat, don't play in the mud, don't go out in the sun. Why did you not finish your homework today? Why did your madam write a note to me? I know you beat the child up. Everything, right? Before you do this, remember, even an ant takes on the elephant when her ego is hurt. A child of this size, whom you think is just 3 years old or 5 years old, has developed a sense of self. That is in technical terms called ego, right? So when you are talking to a child of 5 years old, thinking that he or she has misbehaved, have the bandwidth of first asking the child what happened. What exactly happened that we are sitting on this table discussing that you were irritable? And half of you may be surprised by the answers. Second, try and believe your child first. When somebody else from the neighborhood comes and complains us about our child's misbehavior, we don't want to be seen as indulgent parents. So we there and then try and, why did you do this? I asked you not to do it. Say sorry to uncle right now. Why not take a day and say, okay, fine, I will sort it out. And he is wrong, he will come and apologize. And then take the time out to sit with your child and ask, tell me honestly what happened, and nothing changes. But if you lie, what you've done right now is you've given the child a bandwidth of coming back to you and telling you, this is what happened. This is where I was wrong. This is what the child was wrong. And suddenly you've created such a beautiful bridge of communication that your child will never ever be irritable. Where is irritation coming from? Irritation always comes from suppressed anger, from feeling insulted. You examine yourself and see, when are you irritated? You are irritated because you've not been understood. You are irritated because something is not going your way. That's exactly what the child is mirroring. Only difference is age. If you deal with your child understanding your irritation and how your irritation can be allayed, you'll be able to deal with your child very easily. Very easily.